Hey guys, so this is unscripted, but I finally got my hands on the GW-BX5600, and guys, it's super clear. It's everything you've seen online, on Reddit, on the pictures, and it is phenomenal in terms of the viewing angles, and it's actually quite a different watch. Of course, there's all the same familiarity that you'll come across when it comes to the lineup with the other, I guess, models that share the same square resin, and then just in general, the square design, but let's dive right into some of the quirks that I've come across when playing with this GW-BX5600. So right off the bat, one of the biggest differences that you'll see is actually the home screen. They got rid of the low, medium, high indicator, which is kind of a bummer, but it's something I'll definitely miss. But also with the home screens, you'll get to see that there's 4 different options for a home screen. So here you have Tuesday, November 25th at 10:33. Next, you also have where they write it out, which I'm not sure why they would give you that option, but it's just there if you want to read the whole day. Third is, of course, your GMT function. Now, they still give you the Tuesday, November 25th, but also your second GMT or world time, which I have it set to New York right now. And then the next one, which is my favorite, you get up to 2 different world times. So literally you can keep track of 3 different time zones using basically just this one face watch. Now, of course, as you can tell, the font is very thin. It's a bit dainty, but if you look at it, incredibly clear. You just have to kind of bring your, I guess, your face or the watch closer to your face to see all the different times. But I love this. It's super functional. I don't know too many watches that give you the option to keep track of 3 different world time zones, unless you have, let's say, a mechanical watch with a rotating bezel that has a GMT hand. But this one feels just a lot more clear in terms of, I guess, you don't have to calculate much. It's right there in your face. So that's right off the bat one of the big differences of this watch when it comes to the GW-BX5600, the multiplicity, or the, I guess, the different options you get when it comes to the home. Now let's go through the modes real quick. Of course, you have your home page. Then you also have your world timer. You only get 2 world times, which is fine for me. And these are the 2 that you'd have to adjust to basically have displayed on the home page. So right here, as you saw, there's New York and there's Seoul, Korea. And then also the next face, we have the alarm. And with the interesting part with the alarm is that once you turn it on, I don't know why it's set to that, but here you can see that it's actually showing the indicator for the alarm here. And you have your stopwatch. Another quirk with this watch is that when you start your stopwatch, they don't show you the fractions of a second, but when you stop it, it shows you exactly where those are. So I think it's with the display, it just can't go through the numbers as fast as the original display. So that's an interesting quirk that you actually lose that, which I'm not too sad about, but it was cool to see how the numbers are flying past. And then the next face, which is a timer, which is just your classic timer, and then it'll beep, of course, once that's done. And you're back to your home page. So that's just going through the menu in terms of, I guess, the different modes. There are some differences when it comes to the actual, let's see, the adjustment or all the settings. So when it comes to the home city, I'm not sure. I guess I can compare really quick when it comes to even the GW-5000U that I have here. Is the number of cities that they offer. It's actually, you guys, I'll have to double check that with you guys real quick. But for example, we're on Paris, and of course you can go back and forth with different cities with these 2 buttons here. But there's cities that I don't know what that is, and there's so much granularity. So Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires, so we're going west, St. Jean, Halifax, New York, Chicago, Mexico City, Denver, Edmonton, where is that? Los Angeles, Vancouver, Anchorage, something Islands, Honolulu, Pago. So I think there's definitely a lot more cities that they've baked into this one. Baker Island. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that one. Pago. So maybe what it was is that I just never really bothered to stick around long enough to read the actual full names. But Yeah, I take it back. So you also have all of the cities on the 5000U as well. So sorry to drag you along for that one, but it's just cool to see you get to actually read the full names, because with the MIP display, you get a lot more granularity. And what you're able to do is just see a lot more detail, because it's just a lot more, the font is a lot more thin and clear. So here they are side by side. And immediately just the clarity is night and day. For folks like myself who are lefties and wear their watch on their right wrist, this is a game changer, just because it's just so much easier to see wherever, like you can see here, look how clear that difference is. You can actually read it when it's tilted, the face is tilted away from you. I guess this is more of a lighting issue more than anything. But yeah, the differences is wonderful. I'm so glad that they went to the MIP displays. This is a 5000R, which I just don't wear because of the legibility. It's annoying when you look at it straight on. Like it's so faded. You feel like your watch is maybe even broken a little bit. I'm not sure. So yeah, just comparing angles. I've made enough videos on that. People have all seen that. But it's fun to see just the comparisons here when it comes to quality of the faces. Now this is my 5610, my first square resin G-Shock, and again, sorry for all the glares. This one's probably the most clear out of all the ones I have. But when it comes to legibility, man, this just feels really great to look at. When you're wearing on your wrist, it feels premium, despite not being their premium made Japan model. This one is indeed made in Thailand, with not the screw back, but just with these screws to clamp in the back. And overall, I think it's been just a wonderful experience to have this on my wrist when I compare it with the other G-Shocks that I've been wearing, which are all basically, they share the same body and the same functions, but the clarity just makes it feel like this is indeed the future of G-Shocks, and they're going to be launching this probably in every different variation that they have. I think they already started with the metal bands, with the metal faces, and overall I'm super happy with the GW-BX5600. I think there's nothing to not like about this. Of course, they have that Bluetooth function, which I don't know how many of you actually use. I definitely don't use it, but the fact that you also have that multiband 6, how cool is that? You don't even need Bluetooth anymore. I mean, not that no one's ever really needed it, but the fact that you can stay within a second or two of wherever you are at all times makes this an excellent proposition. Thanks for watching, and this is my first look at the GW-BX5600.